We ready?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we're happy to have you along, and got a few questions that I ask online, and I'm starting to realize that there are some questions that seem to
get more response.
Yeah, get more responses than others. But I'll start with this one, and it's called "Finish This Phrase." My pet's so lazy it blanks. So, do you have anything that you would say? We had Ranger first. So, if you thought about Ranger and he's so lazy,
I don't think any of ours have been that lazy that they won't. I mean, Ranger was blind, and whenever he smelled Nathan, at the end, he would just bark and bark because he would throw him a milk bone. So he barked constantly, so he would feed him the milk bone.
He definitely wanted the milk bone.
That was at the end, though. I mean, and he was practically blind and deaf by then,
Yeah, Rigby is not lazy.
No.
Matt says his sleeps all day. And then I'm going to give you the answer. You tell me who it is. I bet you'll know who said this. It says, fakes an injury on the walk so he can come home and be carried home. True story.
Titus.
That's Titus, yeah. I figured you'd get that one. But I mean, as far as Rigby, he wasn't really he's not a lazy dog.
Oh no, he would never. And there's no way. There's no way I could carry him home.
He's a happy dog when you walk him.
I won't carry Titus either because I'm afraid of hurting him.
Well, forget about hurting him. How about
hurting you?
The dog is
huge.
Huge.
He's lost some weight though. Have you looked at him lately? Yeah, he doesn't look as heavy.
Okay, if you say so. All right, next question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The average morning alarm is set for 6:40 a.m. That's the average, okay? Mm-hmm. So I asked the question, what time do you rise on a work day? And we got 13 responses, okay, which is good. I'm happy with that. So we'll start with us. Depending on Terry's...
There's no alarm
Monday
set.
And Friday. Well, first of all, there is no alarm set. You know how you have these like special powers? I have this special power that
to wake up
Terry
at 4:30 in the morning.
I need up, like say we're going somewhere, and we could be anything, and she'll say, I want to get up at this time,
4:30
say 2 o'clock.
To get on the ride.
I'm up at 1. I automatically get up. Not at 2 when you want it. I'm up either a half hour or an hour before. That's just how it's always been. We've never set an alarm. But our day starts depending. My day starts usually 4:30. Your day, depending on what you got going on,
between 5
and 6:30.
6:30.
Because even when you're not babysitting on Monday and Fridays,
I'm already reading and stuff before you leave.
Because you want to be out of here by 6:30, so you're up during those 2 days.
Yeah,
early. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean today I did my exercises and my stretches.
That's our routine. So Jason, he starts his at 3:10. He's before me. What if he's in bed by 7?
I know you're
because I'm in bed by 8:30. Yeah. Nicole is at 4:15, so she's right where I'm at. Joey from work is 6 o'clock. Matt is 6:30. Joe is 5:30 in the morning. Diane gets up at 4:50, so she's just a little bit after me. She got a longer ride too. Alan's at 5:30. But then his wife answered, only works if you don't ignore it. So I don't know what that means. Annette said 5:45 on a 10-hour day. Danielle, also at 6 a.m., gets started at 6. Penny's at 6. A lot of people are before the 6:40. Have you noticed that? Because the average was 6:40. A lot of these people were before. Carla's at 5, and Darylyn, who I just saw, hadn't seen in a while, starts her day at 5 a.m. So a lot of people starting before the butt crack of dawn, as some people would say.
I mean, they must have early jobs. I mean, but there are a lot of people who work like 9 to 5, and
Well, I think there's a lot, and the other thing too is I think there are a lot more morning people. I'm a morning person, but maybe they're not. That's what the time they start.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They've
but
gotten used to being a morning person because their job calls for it.
You've always said I've turned you into a morning
because
person.
I don't think I was when I was young. I would have slept in on the weekends and stuff, but and then the job I took was morning. I liked being done earlier in the afternoon.
Right.
Before 5.
Yeah, I did too. I always liked being done.
It seems like you have a little bit of a day.
Yeah, whenever I was done at 3, I remember being extremely upset when
they
the
switched
job
you from 2 to 3.
went from I was done at 3:30 to 4:30, 5 o'clock. It was devastating for me, but I didn't realize. And now that I think about it, I was just so angry that they did that.
What, when they changed
when Fairmont changed my time? I can say Fairmont's not in business anymore. They changed my time. I was always 7 to 3 or 3:30. And when they changed it to later, I've been there 10 years, whatever. And all of a sudden they decided, we need to change things up. And even though I had a lot of seniority because of how it fell and they were getting rid of a lot of people, they changed it to like 8 to 4:30. It was devastating for me. But my mic is falling. Hold on. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so I was so mad, but I started thinking about this, that God had a plan. His plan was I wasn't staying there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in order for me to get used to that I'm going to be working, the next phase of my life was going to be 4:30. And I don't know, maybe that's just how I think of it. It's just, I was so angry at the time. I did not want to do it. It was like you said, when you're home a little bit earlier, it gives you more time in the afternoon.
Seems like you have a little bit of a day.
If you're not used to that, if you are used to working 9 to 5, you don't care. But most of my life was 7 to 3 or midnight.
Or 6 to 2.
I worked Pliger was 6 to 2, which is even,
But then you never came home at 2 because you always did overtime just to make
just because I didn't make any money. Anyway, so, but I've always been a morning person. I've always been up early, seem to get more things done. Once the afternoon comes, I feel like, okay, I'm 3:30, I'm done. It's time to, do something else, but it's weird. So here's the last question that I ask. If you had to eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza, probably.
I'm asking you. If you, someone, whatever, this is all you can eat rest of your life. So I thought, boy, if it was like, what would pizza? I thought of pizza. And then I thought of my grandmother's spaghetti. If I could eat my grandmother's spaghetti, both. They were both different, but both fantastic. The sauce, and the one would make the homemade noodles, and the other one felt like homemade noodles because the sauce she made. Just both. So I was thinking spaghetti, but how tired of it would I get? Of course, I don't know. I love their spaghetti. Pizza. Now, are you allowed a variety of pizza?
Yeah, see, and it didn't matter.
Or is it only like a cheese or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could do a lot with pizza. You could do barbecue pizza, Alfredo pizza.
If you could do up different pizzas, then I think it would make a difference as far as would you do that for the rest of your life? It'd be tough to eat it, although we're always complaining nothing sounds good.
Yeah.
Regardless. So here are the answers. Matt, pizza, which I knew he could live off pizza. Janet was pizza or steak. Kristen, my mom's spaghetti. She could live off of that. Joe is Oso's pizza. He does love Oso's pizza. Or polenta. His close second is polenta. And then Danielle is roast and potatoes. You don't get that a lot. I love roast and potatoes.
Yeah, we used to eat it a lot. Zachary says he doesn't like it anymore because I served it too much.
I like roast. I like roast and potatoes. It's really good. Alan says baked ham, which ham is good. The good ham.
Yeah.
Good ham. Joey said tacos. She could live off of tacos. Mona's pizza, because we talked about pizza. Carla's pasta, and Ned is pasta. Penny said salad and wings. She's good to go with salad and wings. Mark said, MREs. We're hoping at some time to get to try them out. Diane said pizza. Sherry said pizza. Susan said loaded baked potato covers most of the food groups other than fruit, which is true. I mean, if a potato would be filling, right? And then Cheryl said pizza. So a lot of people on the pizza train or the pasta train. So I so I think that seemed those type of questions seem to resonate and get people to answer. So I'll have to try and find more of those. Maybe you could come up with something like that, a question that I could.
I have to have time to think about anything else.
Well, you're going to have to think of it. Start thinking, because I need help. Well, I need help in more ways than one, that's for sure. So your dog ate what? This came up today.
My homework.
And this survey.
He ate my math book.
Oh, he really did eat?
She ate my math book when I was, in third grade. And she actually did. And they didn't believe me. I took the book in.
I'm sure they wouldn't believe
It was a brand spanking new book, too. We just got new curriculum that year.
You have to pay for it?
Uh-huh.
How much is it?
$79 back then. That was a lot. My mom bought.
So I wonder what it would be today. Double that? Maybe triple?
Yeah, probably.
They did a survey of the most shocking items that pets have devoured. And now we know Rigby he did eat, I'm sure he still does, socks. Is he not eating socks?
He hasn't ate them in a while.
No socks?
Because now I think if it's too big of a sock, he'll seize and stuff now. So he's learning not to eat things that shouldn't go in his, but he still eats Kleenexes and toilet paper.
Kleenexes, that's what I was. He's stealth-like, because we had him over the weekend, and you have to close the doors because he's so quiet. He's as big as he is. And he's bigger than he should be, but he's bigger.
He's a 60-pound beagle.
Yeah, and he's a mix, so that's why he's a little bit bigger.
Big.
But he's stealth-like, and I have caught him just because I just happened to look, and he's slowly walking down the hallway, headed towards the garbage cans, either in my office or in our bathroom, because he's looking for a garbage can to eat Kleenexes out of, and he tears everything out of the garbage.
Oh, he had hair all over the floor trying to get to the Kleenexes.
Oh, he's something else. So I got to close all the doors.
Yeah.
And if you forget, well, heaven forbid, your garbage is going to be all over the floor. So is there anything your dog won't eat when you're not watching? And the dog, well, I think Rigby would, if you set up a grilled cheese sandwich on the edge of a table,
so he could see it
and you left it there, and you walked away and had a camera, I wonder what he would do.
He might tip it until it fell on the floor, and then it's his.
Because we know he took food off of our stove when we were voting.
Oh, I don't think he's really done it, because I think he got a whooping for that pretty good.
What, you did that?
I know, but I think...
No, I'm saying he did that for us.
I know, but I think Zachary gave him a little bit of a... But I don't know if he even had to. He was so sick from that, because it was a spicy Mexican thing, and he...
That's what we made.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We talking about the same thing?
Yeah. I mean,
because we came home and it was all over the floor.
Yeah, he took it off the stove, onto the floor. It wasn't on the ceiling. It wasn't spilled at all. If it was, he licked it from every place.
He licked it clean.
Yes. And he ate a meal that was for 4 or 5 people, all himself.
I guess some dogs ate a winning lottery ticket. How would you like to have a winning lottery ticket and your dog eat it?
Oh, God, that would be horrible.
That would be tough. That would be, and I don't care how much it is.
I know
it doesn't say, but it would. I don't care how much it would be. $20. It would still be. I mean, if it was only 20, if it was less than 20, I'd probably but over 20, it doesn't say. But one person had their the dog ate their social security card and a stick of butter. So I wonder how that poop ended up. A new poll was revealing some of the strange, well, it'd be really slick coming out. Wouldn't have to worry about, lubing it up.
Yeah, but you might have some messy pudding.
Ew. That's just nasty. A new poll is revealing some of the strangest things that dogs have ate or scarfed down. They did the survey of 2,000 dog owners. And they also ask about the diet, including the good, the bad, and the weird. A box of tampons was eaten by a dog.
Well,
hopefully
Rigby likes
non-used.
Kleenexes, so.
Think it'd be non-used?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
too gross.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to throw up. The spackle on the walls.
Well, I've heard of dogs eating a hole in the wall, like
Yep.
try to get out of a room.
Yes. A 4 television remote. Oh, I think it's 4 television remote controls. They ate 4 of them. Some of the things that dogs try to eat. Some dogs get in the holiday spirit. One pup ate a dove-shaped Christmas tree ornament. That might be the one that needs the butter. You know what I mean? You eat the ornament, you better have something because
Squeeze
it
it out
said the
the other
dog was struggling. I'm sure. Well, don't eat the ornament. Owners are also worried about some of the things that they're even feeding their dogs. So sometimes you think the healthiest dog food isn't quite
it's not
as healthy.
I mean, if you're not reading all the ingredients, and still, even if you are, who knows what they put in it?
Like chocolate. Chocolate's not good for dogs.
Right.
It's not good, and that's what one of the respondents said.
Rigby,
very
when he was a
scary.
puppy, ate a whole box of chocolate-covered pretzels,
And he's
too.
still with us today.
Yeah, and he threw up the rest of the day.
Somebody said they took their dog to the vet because they chewed off and swallowed the tail of a toy fabric squirrel. Man, if we could tell you how many
Fabric.
toys that he's swallowed.
Ears. The ears of
squeaky.
stuffed animals.
I don't think he's ever swallowed the squeaky.
No, but he's the ears, the pieces of stuffed animals. He's ate all kinds of them.
77% worry about their dog's health. And when they eat something they don't, they shouldn't. 59% worry there are times they don't even notice when their dog gets into something. It's because, I'll tell you why, because they're very quiet. They're very good at knowing how to get through the room they're like,
They're snaky.
yeah, they're, yes, exactly. And then as big as, like I said, he's a loaf. I mean, aloof. I'm not aloof. He's like a bull in a china shop at times. But then there's other times he's so quiet you don't even know where he is because he knows how to kind of walk through the house. And I've caught him a couple times.
He was very baffled with Beckett because Beckett cries in his sleep. And
I'm sure.
He'd come over to
my
me
gosh.
and he would look at me like, that baby's crying. Aren't you going to get up? I'm like, no, he's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
And he'd go over and look at it and he'd come back at me and he goes, yeah, I guess he is. And he plopped back down.
Yeah, he's out cold.
I guess he is sleeping. He's not up.
I got a couple things. We're going to talk about the benefits of pistachios.
Oh.
Yes, you might be really interested to know about that. We'll come up with that. We're also going to talk about nudists say that the interest in being naked is starting to wane off. People are just not interested anymore. it's kind of losing interest. That's sad. And then we'll talk about we'll talk about this now. At work, who do you think are more rude, men or women?
Women. Really?
I don't have I can't reach the buzzer. Men take the prize for workplace rudeness.
Really?
Yeah, researchers say office manners have been on the decline for about 10 years. While both men and women are the targets of rudeness, it's men who do the instigating 70% of the time. And I know
I worked with a bunch of women and they nitpicked each other to death.
I've heard this. Yes, I've heard this
they
a lot
time
from
people
women.
in the bathroom and they time,
Yeah.
it's like, she's having a problem. Leave her alone.
Yeah, it's I've heard a lot of women say that it's tough to work sometimes
with a bunch
with
of
other women. Yeah, I'm surprised a little bit by the men thing, but then again, I'm not.
I am, because I
Maybe it's
remember
towards-
people timing people and,
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I bet it's closer than they're letting on. It just
yeah.
might be like 50 to, or it'd be 51 to 49 or something like that. Be really close, but it doesn't say. All right, so now we're going to play a little game called Fortune Cookies in Bed. So you remember that thing we'd always say, in your pants? Remember we've got, okay, this is in your bed. So these are fortune cookie sayings that are fun to read, and it could spice things up by just adding in the bed. Okay. So for instance, the best way to gain a friend is to be one
In the
in
bed.
bed. A well-directed imagination is the source of great deeds in bed. Your road will be made smooth for you by good friends in bed. You will encounter a whole new world of opportunity soon in bed. And finally, patience is one of the hardest virtues to master in bed. That's probably true. More true than you want it to be. So there's some fortune cookie. That really wasn't what I was doing. It just was sitting here and I thought I'd read it. Reading children's bedtime stories. That's something that we did. You were reading to Finn. We had him overnight last weekend.
He's finally kind of into that.
Yeah, I like when he wants to read a book.
He is. I mean, because our first one was into books so much. So, I mean, before 6 months, I think.
Yeah, he was just not into it at all.
And he would sit with a pile of books in your lap for.
Oh, RJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finn
RJ loved books.
He's finally, wanting to read.
And puzzles. And I mean, he was just,
Yeah.
he was an easy kid. And he did everything early. And I don't know.
Well, they're saying here that reading children bedtime stories may not be as effective in helping them to learn language as talking to them before they go to sleep. So they're trying to say talking to your kids.
I don't know. He knew all his Bible studies by the time he hit Sunday school age.
Said that research shows engaging children in basic conversation could be up to 6 times more effective than reading to them.
Well, I talked
What
to
are we
him all
talking
day.
about? Yeah, I know.
I'm like, what do you want
story?
for lunch? Do you want soup or do you want?
Well, that's.
I mean,
that's
I talked to him. I mean, and nowadays you've got, YouTube and stuff. But my kids grew up on Sesame Street, which was really, if you think about Blippi and Miss Rachel and all them, they're doing 1, 2.
Yeah, they're
3.
doing the same thing.
That's what
Just not
Sesame Street
puppets.
always did it with puppets. Yeah,
Well, some of them have puppets.
yeah, some of them do. Yeah,
Not Blippi, but Blippi just throws things in the pool.
yeah.
That knucklehead.
Does it so sink or float?
Yeah, that sink or float crap. Blippi.
And that only affects
Thanks a
you
lot.
because you have a pool.
Yeah. And he wanted to throw it. He doesn't do it as much now.
But if you
But he
watch
did in the
that
beginning.
episode over and over, then that's the one that sticks in your toddler's mind.
Yeah, and he
they
did
throw
it
everything in
everything.
your pool.
2 or 3 times. You get it all out, he throws it right back in. Health experts in the U.S. say that even if a baby or toddler cannot form words, it says their primitive responses to a conversation helps them develop their language skills, which, I don't know, I just think that reading, you're still developing, you're reading to them. You can ask for response. What do you think of that? What happened to...
They liked the Mud book.
The Mud book?
They both liked the Mud book.
Oh, I didn't... I was thinking of the one with the... you read Corduroy.
Mud, yeah.
You just read that one
you
the
seem like
last...
that, yeah. But the Mud, they dug in the mud.
They dug in the mud. I didn't see that book. I might have to read that one.
It's like a short story. It's like a beginner reader book that I think we bought for Zachary had.
Oh, okay.
And it's, yeah.
Time to ask people what they sleep in. And we're going to ask this question. You can text us now during the show. And I wish you would, because we like that. We like getting responses and talking about them later.
You sleep in nothing.
So the actual question is, do you sleep in actual pajamas or something else? That's the question.
Depends on how cold it is.
Yeah, I know you used to sleep with nothing, and now it gets colder, so now you're bundled like an Eskimo. That's okay. You know what I mean? It's cold. That you want 50 blankets on you and very warm socks, warm pajamas.
And fuzzy socks.
And very fuzzy socks. In fact, your fuzzy socks got a compliment.
Yep.
Or were noticed, I should say, in the hospital.
Yeah.
Whoa, those got to be warm, he said. They're all fluffy, bunny. Well, they weren't bunnies.
They were
but they were
camouflage.
very, very fluffy. Someone polled people on Reddit and asked what they usually wear when they go to bed. 1 in 7 said that it's what they're wearing right now. That's what they sleep in.
They sleep in their clothes.
14% said they usually sleep in whatever they wore that day. We're guessing most of those people work at home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, because if I wore leggings and I wore them all day, sleep in them and throw them in the hamper when I shower and get new ones out.
A lot of people thought it was kind of gross, thinking their beds would be filled with all sorts of germs and bacteria. But here are the top 5 choices of what people wear to bed. Number 5, most go shirtless. No top, but not totally in the buff, just shirtless. Number 4, totally naked, 14%. Number 3, whatever you wore that day, 14%, which does seem a little odd.
Yeah.
If you're a mechanic, you're not wearing the same clothes. There's no way.
No,
Is there?
No, I wouldn't think. I would
Unless you
hope
fall
not.
asleep in your recliner because you're so tired. Number 2, any guesses what number 2 is?
Pajamas.
That's number 1. Pajamas is number 1. Number 2 is just underwear. That's number 2. The remaining 8% said none of the above. That's me. I sleep in a beekeeper suit. That's what I like to sleep in. That's what this person said. They sleep in a beekeeper suit. So, what do you sleep in? What's your go-to? Sweatpants? That wasn't on the list. I thought maybe that would,
Yeah.
like a lot of people call them their softies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They come home and they put their softies on.
My grandma always called them her softies.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She liked to get home and get her softies on and kick her feet up
Now,
and
would-
watch
do
the
you know if
news.
she slept
Watch at
in those?
11 o'clock news. Yeah, it was her pajamas. That's
Okay,
what she
so that's her
called them.
softies. Okay. So it's just her pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She would watch the 11 o'clock news. And then she'd go
How
to bed.
often do you go before you wash those pajamas? How many wears do you get out of pajamas?
I wash them once a week, but then,
Does it depend on
yeah, I
like
mean,
if we had any action out? Which we don't, but I'm just saying. I mean, well, you're sweaty.
well,
You're feeling
after
good.
my trip to the hospital, I changed pajamas.
Did you?
We changed the sheets
Okay.
too.
Because that makes a difference. Yeah, we did. We did change. We got to get. You have to give it that aura, that feeling of ugh, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're not feeling good, and we both weren't feeling good that time, you just want to, and you
When-
started feeling a little bit better.
You have to
There's
get
something
rid of
about-
that feeling of it coming out of both ends,
I think
and
you-
it might be on my sheets.
There's something about the clean
On
feeling,
my,
right?
On my sheets or in my PJs.
Yeah, your sheets all over your PJs, the sheets. All right, we come back. We'll talk about pistachios and poor nudists. They're just can't seem to get anybody to be nude with them. And what is something shocking that you discovered, a habit that your partner had that you didn't know he had, or she? We'll talk about that. It's coming up next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great-looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. So we've been buying pistachios.
We like them.
We do. We eat either one. So we haven't tried the shelled.
Well, because we still have.
What do you call it?
Yeah,
Not
they're
shelled.
They're shelled.
They're shelled. That means they've been picked.
They don't have shell.
Right?
Yeah, they don't have shells on them.
Shells. We have the shells, but we have the non-shelled. Shelled.
They're shelled.
Pistachios. You might be surprised at this. I don't know. I was shocked at this when I saw it. It made me want to eat some pistachios. Apparently, if you eat a handful of nuts, it actually will safeguard your eyesight. A new study suggests that eating a daily serving of pistachios actually may protect your eyes from age-related vision problems because it boosts a protective compound in the retina. So all that, when you're sitting there.
So I need to be eating more nuts.
Yeah, I always say that. The more nuts, the better. Research at the Tufts University said that those who ate just 2 ounces of pistachios daily doesn't mean you eat a whole bag. It doesn't work that way, right? I mean, I don't think it works that way. I think you just eat,
some every day.
a normal amount, which sometimes you just can't stop. And then you realize you ate half the bag. For 12 weeks, showed a significant improvement in their eye health compared to those who maintained their regular diet. Apparently, they say that they focused on measuring special protective pigments in the retina and the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eyes that's crucial for vision. Apparently, this pigment is like sunglasses for your eyes. It helps filter out harmful blue light, which is from our phone all the time and the computer screen. And the actual pistachio helps protect the retina from damage by, strengthening this pigment. So it's lutein. It's in the pistachio that is very beneficial to your eyes. So don't worry about eating pistachios because
it's going to help your
It's going to help your eyesight. And I always thought it was carrots. I was always on the assumption that carrots were the ones that
help your eyesight.
Remember, didn't they say?
Yeah, I think they used to say
an apple a day keeps the doctor away, a carrot a day
keeps the eye doctor away.
No, I don't know. I don't think that's how it works. But I don't know why I was thinking carrot. Where am I getting carrots from?
Because carrots were known.
Was it Bugs Bunny that said that? Or?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm confused on that one.
I just remember hearing carrots were good for your eyes.
I thought so. And I don't think it's changed, do you?
I don't know. Well, everything's changed because, hey, dieting is not the same. Now you don't do, and now they're saying you don't have to do without carbs and this and that and other things. I don't know what they're.
We're also, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. So our next show will probably be a Thanksgiving show. Try and come up with, maybe we'll make a turkey. One of them right from the freezer. Throw it right in the oven. Because they do that now. We talked about that in the last show.
I know.
Should have saved that for the week before Thanksgiving. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? Do you have a favorite part? I know your birthday's in there too, but your birthday's before that this year. Because it's after. Your birthday's the 23rd, so it's after. Do you have a favorite
together
part?
with family,
Yeah.
But our Thanksgivings when I was a kid was fun because we celebrated me and 2 cousins or more birthday, depending on where we were at. And it was always fun getting together with all our cousins and stuff.
We'll save that. I guess we'll talk about that maybe next week. We'll dive into. Although Thanksgiving's a little later this year, so maybe I'm pushing the envelope a little too soon. I'll have to look back and see where we are.
Yeah, it is. It's not till the
27th.
28th. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, 27th, because I took, I'm off that most of that week. So I wonder if they're, you know what, I hate to bring this up now, but I wonder if the kids are off that Friday.
I don't know if they might just have Thursday off.
I don't know. I thought they had 2 days. They don't get 2 days?
I don't know. Hopefully at least one of them does.
Well, I was thinking that we didn't, well, who knows?
Lauren's she barely has any PTO time. Now she has to take 2 days.
Yeah, you have to watch him 3 days next week.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so naked people are getting worried that there aren't enough naked people. Interest in the let it all hang out lifestyle has dropped in recent years. Maybe it's because, eating ding dongs all day. I don't think anybody want to see me naked. I don't know. Anyway, this is
and you're getting old and saggy.
Old and saggy.
Who wants to see everything
going
sagging?
in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Not perky anymore, honey.
Body Culture is saying that membership is just over half of what it used to be 25 years ago. It's not just a problem bringing in new nudists. The organization canceled its anniversary celebration that happened back in August because the lack of interest. Why the change in bearing it all? The president said there's a long list of reasons, including social media and the fact that everyone has a camera on their phone, which is also pretty true. You know what I mean?
You
think about it.
Pictures of me naked out there.
A guy could actually pretend like he's, playing on his phone, but he might be taking pictures because someone's pretty hot. He's thinking, ooh, or maybe not even hot at all, just, kind of a pervert. We have a lot of those too.
Oh, I know.
What is the most shocking habit that I had that you discovered when we got married? Was there anything that you thought, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Is there a habit that I might have that you thought?
Throwing the fruit away did hit me for a loop.
Well, that wasn't a habit. That was just, I didn't eat it. It's not a habit.
But you were throwing it away.
I eat it now. I didn't eat it then.
And then
I didn't want you to feel bad.
The showering before you go into a machine shop and then coming home and re-showering.
You know what? That is
washing your head, mainly washing your hair and then re-washing your hair.
It's one thing just to kind of
shower off. I mean, because when you get up, you want to wash all your privates anyhow, even if you're going into a grease pit. I mean, if you were a mechanic, you probably still wash up before you went.
It's funny. I look at that now and I think, what was I thinking? Because I
used to get up and shower, and then you came home and showered
again.
And you washed, shampooed, and everything.
What a waste that was. That's time I'll never get back.
Do you really do this twice a day, every day?
That is so weird. Well, I'm trying to think when I stopped. I finally realized, what am I doing?
I mean, I could still see washing your armpits and putting deodorant on and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did that,
but washing your head, but you're going into a machine shop with all that
the dirt
and dust. Just wait till you get home and wash it out.
Well, it would be like going to the pumpkin patch that we went to.
Yes, and I did wash my hair before. I did too,
but I mean, it's because I
needed it.
I could have just put a hat on, but I'm not used to wearing a ball cap anyway, but I could have. But after seeing the truck and just covered in dust, and then our pants and, nasty. It was nasty. I couldn't get the word out. I mean, it was fun, but
yeah, there was a lot of dust.
A lot of dust. And he just wanted to be on the playground anyway.
Yeah, we could have took him to.
We could have saved $76 and just gone to the playground.
To a park.
Yeah,
we could have with a good playground.
With a good playground and picked up a pumpkin for $5 somewhere afterwards. Saved ourselves a lot of money and a lot of time. Because that's all he wanted to do anyway.
And it was just crowded at some point. It got crowded.
Yeah, somebody asked me what I did. I said, well, we decided. I'm like, well, no, we didn't decide. Because if it was up to me, I'd be in my softies. Just playing with the grandkids, because that's just as fun. He wants to play outside anyway. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. So they put that on my list. I took another hayride. Check that off. I did. So anyway, some of the habits. Yeah, that is I don't understand that habit I had. I look back and I think, well, that was really stupid. It's just a weird, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway.
And as you've gotten older, you've gotten OCD and you really clean freak, which you never were when we were young.
I'm a lot worse than I used to be. I just want to get rid of stuff.
Well, you always did have little habits that bothered different people in the household, like throwing things away.
Well, that's because no one will pick anything up. So it's you don't pick it up, it goes in the garbage.
Well, how many notes that, needed signed to school did the kids cry about?
That's hard to say.
That was my field trip form. I just cleaned out my book bag for Mommy to look at that sign and put it back.
It could have been. Yeah, it's possible. So here are some of the habits that people shockingly found out about their partner when they moved in. One said he won't clear the couch. He just sits down. Fresh folded laundry, sit on it. Purse, sit on it. Paper, sit on it. So how about that? He won't even move anything. He just sits.
Like if you're folding laundry, why would he not?
Yeah.
I would be mad if he sat, especially if he has a mechanic job.
Yeah. One said, my husband folds towels while they are still wet and puts them away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they stink?
They would.
I think they would.
Because, like, for instance, if you were to forget the laundry, like you forgot to take it out of the washing machine, and it's a day, it smells.
Yeah.
So if you fold a towel
that's wet,
it's
gonna stink.
It's going to stink, right?
I would think so.
It can't be. Why would you do that anyway? I guess he's trying to eliminate a process of drying.
I don't know.
Just throw them in the dryer if you don't. I used to like them being hung outside, but then they get so crispy. It's almost, get really hard.
Yeah, they're crispy.
Yeah. I know it smells good. Something about, unless the neighbors are doing garbage. Burning garbage, then it really doesn't matter. Another shocking habit someone discovered, this actually, my sister did this, eating cereal with water and not milk.
Yeah,
I don't know if she remembers that or not. One person says she eats cereal with orange juice.
Ew.
Oh, that's tough. Like Apple Jacks and orange juice together just doesn't sound. Frosted Flakes and orange juice? That just doesn't sound. How about, I'm trying to think, what about Cheerios and orange juice?
No.
You got that weird look on your face.
I don't think
like you're constipated.
With orange
you constipated?
Juice, no, it doesn't sound good.
One person said their habit was a shocking habit. He doesn't change his bed sheets ever. He thought the only reason I changed mine regularly was because of the periods. And he thought men just don't have to change bed sheets. Can you imagine like the yellow
I know
stain?
people who don't put bed sheets on. They just sleep on the mattress.
No way.
Never wear 'em. My brother was known for that.
Well, okay. Well, that's a whole different. We're talking about a whole different ballgame there. Your brother. I mean, his two fingers were stained yellow because of the cigarette stain. How many cigarettes did he smoke? Yeah.
Chain smoked all the time.
Now, this is one I could actually see you doing, except for the end part. Okay, you ready? This is a shocking habit someone discovered. My girl loves peanut butter so much. She has a tub of it next to the bed and on the coffee table. Now, here comes the part that I know you're not going to. Oh, in her office, too. She has a thing of peanut butter in her office. None of these tubs, though, have lids. So they're always open with a spoon in it. That's kind of gross. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'd be afraid.
But that's you, though.
There'd be a stink bug in it.
I mean, if you could, you'd have peanut butter in every room.
I like my peanut butter.
Yeah. Although you've gone more health.
Yeah, I don't eat the sugar and all the.
You know it's healthy when she has to turn it upside down because of you have to keep it all mixed together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's
still tastes good.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It's not really that bad because it's natural.
No stir one is pretty good too.
The no stir.
Yeah. Natural.
Is that the Walmart?
No, I found out one at Aldi's.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Old Aldi's coming through again. How do you feel? Do you feel like, let me see, how do I want to ask this question? You played an instrument in school.
Yep.
Now, do you feel like, are you I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to ask the question. Do you feel like you're fulfilled because you actually, did something? I mean, when you start playing middle school?
Oh, no, I started in 3rd grade.
Oh, really? And you played the
Clarinet.
I knew that. I wanted you to answer. I knew it was clarinet. I almost said flute, but then I realized it was clarinet.
But then I learned a little bit of the flute and the saxophone because I have friends that played them and we used to switch them. And the fingerings on the flute and the clarinet and the saxophone, they're just a little bit different.
Do you feel like that you've played an instrument? Do you feel like it helped you in other academics of school? In other words, do you feel like it helped you in math or it helped you in...
No.
You don't think it helped you?
I don't think it particularly helped me, but they say a lot of creative people are more mathematical or more whatever. And look at
Well,
Zach.
our son plays several instruments. He plays the guitar, the piano.
He started on the drums, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't finish the drums.
Didn't finish them because his friend.
And they're saying that kids that focus on music and drama have a better aptitude for math and reading. So do you think reading helped? Do you think because you had to read notes, do you think that helped you with reading at all? You read all the time, but I'm just saying in school, do you think it was...
I think it, I don't know. I think the music did give me more of a, what do I want to say, a rounded education because I liked being in the marching band and I liked, you know what I mean? It gave me a part of something.
Right.
To be a part of
Well, you're
something.
a team. Even though it's band, it's
like
still a team.
more like a team sport.
Sure.
And we were a competitive band, so
right.
that helped too because, you won together, you lost together,
I often wonder, because I always wanted to play the drums, and I never did, but always wanted to. I always wondered, because I'm not a reader, I'm not good at it. I even
you were
today,
you never struggled reading.
No, what I
school,
mean,
did you?
but what I mean is,
You never
I never
enjoyed just
took an
sitting down
interest in
and
just sitting down and reading a book.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And I don't know why. I have this, I took that book when you were having that surgery. Someone gave me a book to read. I couldn't even get through the first page. I was like, I don't know.
You took it. John gave you
Yeah.
the book.
And I just could not, it wasn't, the book was bad. I just would read it.
It's like, here's one I think you might actually read. And you read the first page and that was it.
I couldn't do it. I just could not, and it's any book.
You had something better to do on Christmas Eve. You had to run to the pharmacy and get my prescription.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Man, anyone told me that. Driving through Pittsburgh. Luckily, we just started using GPS.
Yeah, we just bought one.
Because if it wasn't for that, I'd
still be waiting at the hospital.
You'd still be waiting. That's right. Yes.
You'd have to call your uncle to come get you and me.
You would have had to go get it yourself. You had to drive me.
I wouldn't have had it because it was...
You'd have had to drive me.
It was Christmas Eve. I would have had to have been no prescriptions at all.
But, anyway, we just bought that Garmin. I think I bought your dad one and I bought one.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's all on your phone. Anyway, the Department of Education looked at 25,000 math scores, and they found that students who were deeply involved with any type of musical instrument did much better than the students who were not. Students involved in drama did better in reading. Drama students were also less likely to tolerate racism. Music helps the brain think fluidly and mathematically. The counts to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. That's why I ask you about, and you would march and play at the same time.
Yeah.
Your big moment on stage was at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, right? Was that what you were? No.
Yeah.
Was you on that?
We were in that, yeah.
They say drama helps students learn empathy for others. So I guess drama and playing an instrument, if your kids play an instrument down the line, I think it helps. I just think it helps build confidence if they're, especially in a band.
Yeah.
Being in the band, not a band, but unless you can, get a band together, but the band, just the camaraderie, I think there's a bond for the people would call them band geeks.
Nerds. Mm-hmm.
But the thing of it is, there was a bondness. There was something that connected you all. Because when it all worked and it all sounded great, right? Just like anything, like baseball, football, when that play works, there's nothing like it. It just
And if you've got a competitive team that's like making the program for you, and then they really come up with some good ideas and, some wow factors to it. And if you pull it off, it makes you feel good, like because you see the people. Oh, they weren't expecting that,
You watch these college bands, and they form all these things. They spell Ohio. Yeah. Ohio State does the Ohio, and it's moving. It's constantly moving. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, to
be able to play and to march, because that's not an easy thing, I would imagine, right? I mean,
especially I had swimmer's ear the first year of band camp. Was it the first year?
So everything was like kind of off?
Oh, I couldn't march. I couldn't march right. They kept saying, they kept yelling at me, and I was like, and then I ended up having to go to the doctor because my balance was off. It puts everything off.
Yeah. All right. Finally, last two. It takes someone 38 seconds to judge your home. 38 seconds. People walk in the door. They're looking around.
Just don't let them
judging
see.
Your house. Don't open that closet.
Don't if they don't, my dresser is usually piled high with crap.
And what do they notice? What's the first thing you think they notice?
In
38 seconds.
Cleanliness. I mean,
did you vacuum?
And if you have animals and it smells like animals, I notice that right away.
Definitely. Are your windows dirty?
Yeah, or is your
You said funny smell, and that's
and the thing about it is your couch piled with crap and you can't even sit down?
Laundry, and they're sitting on it, sitting on the fresh, the wet towels that are folded on the couch. Yeah, 38 seconds they're judging you.
I mean, if there was a laundry basket and they were folding clothes right there, that would not offend. You know what I mean? That wouldn't.
No, especially if they have kids.
Yeah,
how tough it is
to just get it folded and put away.
No way.
If they were in the process, that wouldn't. But if there was dirty underwear sitting next to it, then that might,
Yeah, bra and underwear sitting on the floor. Ooh, sorry. I guess we interrupted.
The kitchen or the living room. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to eat on the table.
Yeah.
I might skip dinner if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to eat outside. Okay, and finally, these are ridiculous excuses for skipping work. If you want to use these, it's up to you. These are all true.
I can imagine what people say when they call off.
These are all true. These are all submitted to a website.
A lot of people that have gotten fired for calling off too much, and they've used some pretty lame
by
excuses.
HR and managers. So here we go.
Okay.
These are ridiculous excuses for skipping work. Number one, I just put a casserole in the oven. Now, I mean, what time are you going to work? So what does that mean? You got to wait for it to be done? That's an excuse.
I don't think that's
How about this? My plastic surgery needed some tweaking to get it just right. Wonder what you had done. More than likely your boobs, huh? Need tweaked.
I don't know.
Another excuse, a ridiculous excuse for missing work. I was sitting in the bathroom and my feet and legs fell asleep. When I stood up, I fell and broke my wrist. Boy, that must have been one important game you had to get through, or whatever you were reading on the toilet.
Yeah.
You ever have that, like your legs go numb?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it happens.
Especially
when you
got it coming out both ends.
Well, I'm talking about just going in normally without having the runs.
Without having to sit there for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting there because you're enthralled with your phone. You've ever gone numb?
How
about this one? Ridiculous work excuses. I was at the casino all weekend and still had money left to play with on Monday morning.
So he didn't come to
work? He didn't come to work. One person said, I woke up in a good mood and didn't want to ruin it. That's actually a pretty good one if you think about it.
Especially if you hate your job.
I'm not coming in today.
Maybe you were looking for a firing in that,
Why? I'm in a good mood. I don't feel like ruining it. That's pretty good. I think that's a good one. Another ridiculous excuse. I caught my uniform on fire by putting it in the microwave to dry. That's the reminds me of Uncle Buck. Remember, he was putting all the food or the clothes in the microwave.
To zap them to get the.
He had the fan going. He had clothes on the fan. Oh, Uncle Buck, it's the best.
Couldn't get the washer and dryer to work right. Yeah.
And finally, one of the worst, probably ridiculous excuses that I can think of. I accidentally got on a plane. Hey, I just happened to step out of my house and boom, right onto a plane. I don't know how that happened. And those are just some of the ridiculous
So I'm out of
excuses.
town accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally. I just flew to Hawaii. I don't know what happened. Come on. Accidentally got on a plane. Yeah, I was sleepwalking. I guess you could use that one. All right. That's it. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or X at Just Talking Out Loud. And you can also text us. We'd love to hear from you. I have to ask more questions, I guess. What's your favorite food? If you didn't answer,
I thought
and you'd like to answer,
you asked that one before.
If your food, if you only could eat one food the rest of your life and you didn't answer, you want to text us on the show. You can also speak pipe if you'd like to have your voice on. I'll put it on, but no one's jumped on that one. What else? Every Monday we have a new episode, so please don't forget to subscribe and hit the subscribe button. You can do that too. That helps us. And we really appreciate you listening. We're out.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.